Well, I'm down here today checking some mink sets, a few otter sets, a few rat sets. And I just come down over the bank, kind of have like a bottom edge bridge set, and I got a mink. My first stop of the day, so I'm pretty pleased with that. No bait, just a blind settle on the edge. You can see where I put a big rock right here, and I put a little bigger trap than necessary for a mink, but the water was very high from the large storm, and lots of places for the mink to go in here. I've got 4 sets. This seems to be the one that's connected. Pull that out. It's like a small buck mink. Pretty good suitcase catch. As you can see, I've made sets here before, done different things. Probably put in another trap over here. That looks like a good spot right in there too. Go over here and take a look at the other spots. Yeah, the water's dropped a lot. Water was covering these traps the other day. I'm going to change them around, try some different things. But got one mink, pretty happy with that. Well, I had another spot. Showed you a mink this morning. Let's see if we can show you an otter or some beavers or something else. Checked 2 places. Had a mink in one, and the other place I didn't have anything. Set a few more traps, got to put some more otter sets in. You can see the beaver house over there. We've done quite a lot of damming up here. It's right next to the road, culvert's full. We'll go see if we got it. The first one didn't have anything in it. As I look on, I can see something black sticking out of the ground, water there. Looks like a beaver foot. Let's take a look. See what we got. Oh yes. Here's another beaver. This one looks much bigger. I got 2 little ones last time. This one here is a lot bigger. It's gonna be fun getting him out. That's a big beaver. Real big one. You look at these beaver from the bogs, boy oh boy. They are crawling with them water fleas. Try not to get them all over me. They'll give you the itchies pretty bad. I have a friend who had like a rash from them because he packed one way out of the woods. This is pretty big beaver. And we'll just go check the last trap, and I'll come back and I'm going to show you a remake of this particular channel set. It's really pretty typical coming from the beaver flowage, where the Maine has opened up their beaver trapping pretty early now because we got so many, and I hate to trap them early, but it's hard for me with an injury I had a few years ago to chisel ice. So, and with the price of beaver being down, this is the way I'm going to catch them this year. Let's go check that other set. Well, here's a homemade bracket that I have been making this year to help me set these Connie bears and channels. Pretty basic. Nothing really fancy, just some 5/16 rod, 1/4 inch rod, whatever you got laying around. And they're quick and easy. This set didn't have anything in it, but I'm going to put it right back down. I just set them right in the main channel. Push them in. and I search for my jaws. Be real careful not to get my hand crunched in it. So I know how deep they are. I like to, it's probably not necessary here because I'm right in the main channel. I kind of like to push them, this grass. You see I hug the grass in there. Anything you can do to help make them beaver think there's only one way through, I like to do that. Snug stuff up. I like to brush everything away from it. Just setting the main channel. It's probably more work than I need to do, but if I'm out here, I might as well make sure I got things the way I want them. Now, I just like to put a little dive stick down there, crowd everything in. Like I said, you're in the main beaver channel here. It's not, they're coming through anyways. Pretty well, you can see it's pretty narrow right here. Trap's not down that deep. I like 280s, 330s in here. Maybe in this particular spot I should have a 330 instead of a 280, but I've caught 3 beaver here, 1 here and 2 in the other set. Let's go back and remake the other set. Where this other beaver was, as you can see, the channel looks a lot nicer up ahead, a little narrower, a little tighter, but what you can't see through the grass is there's a beaver dam right there. We have to be off the beaver dam, can't be set right on it, and I'm more than legal distance here, and in this case I used a 330 to kill that beaver. Right there's a channel I took. The reason I took it is it was close, for one thing, it was close to a big tree I could wire off to. Then there was a point that came out here, and you can see right in here there's a narrow channel. The rest of that point's all grass, and over on the edge is all grass. I mean, it's not any super set that's out of the ordinary. It's just a channel set. I happen to be here, so I'm using them. If I didn't have channels, I would use caster mounds probably this time of year or something, but these are easy sets. Just put them in here. Good chance you could get an otter in the process. Hasn't happened yet, but pretty hard to catch otters when you've got your traps full of beaver. Okay, there's the beaver. Got him out of the set. I want to show you this little stand, why I've done what I've done here. For 330s, I painted the top blue. For my 280s, I painted the top gray. As you can see, there's a color on the top. Plus it also helps me find them when they get dumped over. You can wire them off. I just took this rod and a 110 meg, and I cut these long ones are 38 inches. So you cut 2 pieces 38 inches, and you go up here. I believe it's 8 inches from the bottom to this one, and from the bottom to this one right here is 10 inches. Then I go up and I weld on 2 tabs. I use the same material. And then make sure my trap tag's still there. There's wire still in good shape. 330 pretty much kills everything dead anyway, but pretty much instantaneously in most cases. And them 2 nubs just set right underneath these corners. And then you've got the 2 bars down here which help block off the bottom, which is nice. You don't have to worry about making ladders. You can just use sticks like this to go through your springs and prop. That's pretty much all I used to do. but then I lost a few fingers on my left hand from a table saw, and now I do things a little different. And I also have started using these heavy pliers, locking pliers, to set the springs. I used to be able to set them by hand, but I can't now. So we're going to put this in, put this trap right in. Just lift up the stand. Make sure you take your safety latches off on your springs. I don't know how many times I've had to come back and redo them. And there you can see I've got it in the channel. It's still about 6 inches on either side. I like to block off. I don't want a beaver thinking he can get through them. Probably not, because I'm right in the main channel. But just kind of force everything in tighter there, as tight as I can get it. Let's see. There's another little stick. I'll just shove that down in there. And last, I like to find, sometimes I can feel a bunch of brush down here. It doesn't hurt to have some kind of a diving stick. You know, a little diving stick right there. It's just about a ½ inch over my trap, and I usually just take a little grass and finish filling in tight over here. Ouch! Those beaver and otter, they're not gonna come through. They're gonna go right through this channel. It's nice and clear. I leave it good and clear. I got a dive stick down there. I got the sides pinched off. Lots of beaver cuttings here. I got permission to be in here anyways, but I don't like to break up people's trees if I can help it. It's not necessarily when you got beaver wood everywhere from all the damage they've done. If I don't even have a saw or a hatchet with me, just because I avoid doing any cutting. If I want some wood, I'll look around. There's usually plenty from the beaver. I'm back on a different bog. Checking in my friend Jeff's house. This bog here I've been trapping on better than 20 years. It's always got fur on it. See a big rat house out there. Although the rats didn't do very well this year. 2 dry summers, and then we had flood stages a week ago. 60-mile-an-hour winds. The rats took a pretty bad hit, I think. I mean, some guys are catching a lot, but in the smaller bogs like this, they dried up pretty much the summer. But you can see there's a couple big rat houses. Let's go check a couple traps. I'm here on a trap line, and I don't know if you can see it, but right there's some big coyote tracks. And I spotted them because I was seeing heads up here. I thought it was cattail duck. It's not cattail duck. Coyote caught a duck, and he ate it. And looking really close at it, and the feathers and stuff, I believe it was a wood duck. You know, Jeff wants to do a little coyote trapping next year. I think this would be a good area. I'm going to try to set a couple more traps, and I'll click back on when we check some other ones. Bye.
There was another bone somewhere. I can't remember where it was.